Hey, my name is May, and today I'm going to tell you the story of how I met my husband. Looking at me, I am not the most conventionally attractive individual out there. I don't know if I'm the only one thinking this, but
how did I get a husband?
And the answer is because he sees things in me that I don't see in myself. And that's a lot of times how relationships work. I think considering the nature of our relationship, things aren't only based on our external attributes. In short, the way we met is through mutual friends. It was during the global event that lasted from 2020 through 2023. During that time period, there were online groups between mutual friends, and these mutual friends would get together, and so we could all play games and things and all socialize, and so we weren't all completely utterly alone all the time. Like, these groups were like pretty big. Basically, I had posted to this group that I was looking for someone to play Portal 2 with, because I had not played Portal 2 with the co-op version, and most of my friends didn't have Portal 2. They weren't really interested in video games like that. So I was just looking for somebody to be able to play this co-op with. And then so my husband replied, "Oh yes, I have Portal 2 and I will play the co-op with you." And so we played online and we were just talking, and I just realized he seemed really nice. He seemed very reasonable, and he was very like peppy and bubbly. And I thought that was cute. And then we kept talking for the following like 2 weeks or something like that. And then I just realized that I was more and more interested in how he was as a person, and he seemed very like open-minded and reasonable. The things that I've been looking for in a relationship was somebody who was very patient, someone who was very kind, someone who was very compassionate, someone who was smart. Those were basically my top four. And you know, somebody who I felt like I didn't need to be like a fake version of myself around. And he was basically all those things. He's very smart, he's very kind, he's very compassionate and reasonable for the most part. You know, everybody has their days. Everybody has their days. He's very patient with me in the sense that sometimes with my disabilities and things, I may not have the kind of energy that most other people have, or not just the energy, but like the mental capacity to act like how other people do. It's hard to explain. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but it just, again, I tend to be very tired. I can be kind of moody, and he's very patient with me in regards to my moods and like being sad at like random moments, and he's very, very understanding, and I appreciate that very much about him. So when I saw that, I was like, I asked him out. In short, I did ask him out, and he was like, whoa. He was very surprised. We went on a date. The rest is history, basically. We just kept dating because we both really liked each other. We liked each other's company. If I had to sum up our relationship, it would be that it's really fun. We're both goofballs. You know, he's a very positive person, you know, contrasting my negativity. I have to apply effort to make myself think positively. He seems to be much more naturally positive. He's just upbeat, and he has, you know, somewhat unlimited energy, it seems to me. I mean, I know that the energy is limited, but it's just, he just has a lot of energy. Those are the things that I appreciated about him. And when it comes to things that he appreciated about me, it's very similar in the sense that he perceives me as patient, which I don't always see that, but he says that I'm a patient person. So I appreciate that. He thinks that I'm pretty. You know, I don't always see that in myself, but he says that he thinks I'm pretty. So that's, you know, very nice of him. He says that he thinks I'm very smart. So I guess we have similar traits that we looked for in our relationship. And he says that he thinks I am compassionate, and I would agree with that one, that I try to be. People see in their partner things that their partner doesn't always see in themselves. And like in terms of like physical attributes, like I wasn't really looking for someone in particular when it came to like appearances. Now personally, I do like broad shoulders, and I like colorful eyes, which can be like any color basically. I don't know why I said colorful eyes. I just mean like, you know, in the sunlight, and then your eyes, and they have a different color. And I think that's really pretty. And so he has these like really pretty blue eyes that are like kind of like a blue gray, and then like in the sunlight then they get kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just they get shiny. And he has broad shoulders, and I like that about him. We're just good for each other. I really appreciate his patience. His personality is very uplifting. I mean, sometimes I'm not always in the mood for it, like, because I can tend to be a negative person, like I've said. And so it's like, if I'm just having like a blah day, and then he's like, it's a bit much sometimes. But like, you know, that's marriage. It's like you have your pros and your cons, and you have your days, and you have your up days and your down days, and you have your little discussions and discussions, but it might actually be an argument, but we call it a discussion. You know, we tend to not really argue that much. We're very compatible in that context. Like, if we have like arguments, it's usually over something that's really stupid, like a character in an anime. Or like what this anime genuinely means. Like, otherwise, like, he's very reasonable with me, and he's more often than not, he is willing to compromise with me if we have differing perspectives on a matter. More often than not. I mean, I also have to catch him at a good time, because like if he's like super hungry, then it's like it's not gonna work out. Anyway, I guess I'd say then, in terms of recommendations, if you out there are looking for someone that you're interested in, I would say if you want to date somebody, ask them. Just don't be afraid. Sometimes, because I mean, this is me personally, but I was not the kind, when I was dating, I was not the kind of person who wanted to play games. I wanted to get married, and I wanted to be in a relationship that would last. I did not want to deal with somebody being like, oh yeah, how you doing, honey? I didn't want to deal with going on a date and then like he stands you up for no reason. Unclear communication. I wanted clear communication from the get-go that if we're going to make a relationship work, I want us both to be in the perspective that, hey, this might potentially lead to marriage if we're both interested. I didn't want to date just to be dating. And my husband was the same way, that he didn't want to be just dating to date. It's like, well, if we're going to date, it's going to be serious. So I just recommend that if that's your perspective as well, or even if it's not, just be honest. Be like upfront with the individual. And if you're the woman, it's okay to just be like, you know, I'm interested. Would you like to go on a date? Because in my personal experience, it led to good things. I mean, I know people say that it's like, when it comes to dating, that it's like a game and you have to let the men chase you. If that's the kind of vibe that you want, like, go for it, sis. If it makes you happy, then that's your path. But I would say that it might be a more frustrating path than just being direct and saying, I'm interested, are you interested, yes or no? And then moving on if the answer is no. Because me personally, I just didn't have the energy to be playing games with people who, you know, they were gonna say,
I love you, baby.
And then afterward, you say, do you want to go on a date? And they're like,
No.
like, huh? So what's this love mean? Like, huh? So anyway, that's all I have to say on that. But if you have any like questions, concerns, experiences you wanted to share, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.